Welcome back. Another video about the Mohawk. Again, I got the trifold mirror. I'm going to shave my sides today just to prolong my my style before I have to go back to the barber to get it cut. We're going to use some hair combs of sorts. I'll drop a link for them down below. But basically what they do is they will hold the hair back so you can get as close as you need to while shaving. The other item that we're going to use is an Andis foil shaver. I'll drop a link for this down below as well. This cuts short hair, not really the long stuff. So if I accidentally get too close here, I don't have to worry about my hair. It's not going to cut it. It'll just cut all this side hair. So let's get into it. Now when I'm in here shaving, I'll use my hand kind of in the front of my head to push the long hair off to the side so I can get as close as possible. You'll see me use the fabric comb in a moment, kind of when it's a little bit further back of my head. But when I'm shaving, I want to get skin, so I get as close as possible. I don't like to feel stubble after I'm done shaving. Now, as you're shaving, try to do it in all sorts of different directions: front and back, left, right, circular. It gets the closest shave. Another trick is to go against the grain of how your hair grows. Going against it kind of pushes it back and it gets you a close shave. Now these foil shavers, they actually shave as close as like a razor would, making a skin feel without having to use an actual razor. So you can do this on your own without the threat of, cutting the long hair by accident. Now see, I did use the fabric comb and it pulls the hair over, and it's kind of like Velcro. It holds it down, pushes out of the way. I still use my fingers. There's a couple of tricks that I like to do. So one, you can use that fabric comb, look in the mirror and pull that fabric comb towards the edge of your hairline. And then you can use that kind of like a guide as you're shaving. So if you can't really see that spot or you get tired of bending your neck, you can kind of use that as a guide for the bending. I also will use either the tips of my fingers as a guide, or in some parts, I'll use the long end of my hand, basically my palm and my pinky, as a guide once I'm pulling my hair back so I can feel where the stubble meets the long hair. So we're getting towards the end of the video. I hope this was helpful. Hope you got a few tips from it. This Andis foil shaver actually comes with replacement blades as well, where you can replace them out. I'll drop a link for replacement blades down below. Again, I hope this was helpful for you. Please like, drop a comment, subscribe. Have a great day.